Hello, my dear BSc fifth semester students. Today, I want to start your online classes as you are well aware of the fact that due to corona impact, the entire country is suffering. So, online classes are the alternate for education system. So, keeping this in mind, as already you people have enjoyed online classes in your earlier semester. Now, for this semester, our chemistry department as well as the entire college will going to conduct the classes online. Now, for me, there are three topics allotted for you. The first one is soaps and detergents, and the second one is chemotherapy, and the third one is certain reaction mechanism. Compared to last sem, this sem the topics are very easy to understand and very easy to represent the things. So I request all of you thoroughly understand the concept and go through the last year question papers and try to note down the important questions related to every topic and score more. We are with you, means our department is with you. Any difficulty, any query, please ask without any hesitation to me or call me. So, with these words, let us move to the first point, that is soaps and detergent topic. So, you are well aware of the fact that in day to day life, soaps and detergents play an important role keeping our skin, our clothes, even the entire part of the body will be made clean by using the soaps. Detergents are used to clean the clothes where there are some dirty particles present on the cloths. So, for you, it is a kind of interesting subject for you. So, in your previous class, that is particularly PUC, you may be heard about these soaps and detergents. What are soaps and detergents? Soaps and detergents both are like components, but they differ in their structures that I will discuss one by one. First, let us see what is soap. Soaps are sodium or potassium salt of long chain carboxylic acids. The group of molecule consisting of a long hydrocarbon chain component of carbon and hydrogen with a carboxylic acid on one end, which is ionic bonded to metal, ionic bond connected to the metal, usually sodium or potassium. So in generally, we write the general formula for a soap as RCOONA. A soap has a large non-ionic hydrocarbon group and ionic COONA, COONA plus group. So this is a general definition, you know. So as already most of the CBZ student may be knowing, lipids. Lipids are nothing but oils, fats, and waxes, which are generally the basic source for the soaps. And the lipids are made up of a typical molecule called as a triglyceride molecule. A triglyceride molecule is a triester where three ester groups are there in a chain, and when they break up by saponification using an alkali, they will yield a long chain carboxylic acid with the sodium or potassium, and that is the soap. So, with this, I will give certain example in connected with soaps. Sodium stearate, which is having the formula C17H35COONE plus. C17H35. Just imagine CH3, CH2, 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 CH2 up to 17 times, and at the end you are having COONE. That is, C17H35 is the longest hydrocarbon component present in the sodium stearate. So sodium stearate means COONE plus is the ionic functional group, which is very easily ionizable in water. Similarly, we have another example, C15H13COONE plus, that is sodium palmitate. So the palmitate group is C15H13 and ionic group is COONE plus. Similarly, we have sodium oleate, C17H33COONE. That I mean to say is that the long chain hydrocarbon which are present in triglyceride are responsible for our long chain hydrocarbon to be present in soap and detergents in generally. So here we have discussed one term called saponification. Saponification is a process in which the triglyceride ester present in oil or fat is subjected for treatment with NaOH, and whereby you will get soap, that is a RCOONE plus glycerol. So this is a simplest way, that is called saponification. Treating oil or fat with NaOH, that is an alkali, yielding soap and glycerol. This reaction is called as a saponification. So most of the time the student may get confused what exactly the meaning of soap and what is the meaning of detergent. So let us see the general formula for all these. So soaps are having a general formula RCOO minus Na plus, right? And detergents are generally having the formula RSO3O minus Na plus. So only on the structure itself you can distinguish between soaps and detergents. So sodium salt of long chain fatty acids are called as soaps. Sodium alkyl sulfonates RSO3O minus Na plus. Sodium alkyl sulfonates are called as detergents. So please remember this formula so that you can very easily understand the concept of soaps and detergent. Otherwise, the most terms are almost identical in most of the respect, but they differ. In case of soap, we are having COO functional group. In case of detergent, we are having sulfonate functional group or sulfate group. So I have given some example. C13H35COO minus sodium stearate, sodium palmitate, C15H31COO minus Na, C17H33 sodium oleate. Okay, and in detergent part we are having the two different kinds. One is ROSO2ONA plus that is a sodium alkyl sulfonate, and another second type is R attached to the benzene ring followed by again SO2ONA, that is sodium para-allyl benzene sulfonate. Para-allyl, that is at para position there is a allyl group attached to the benzene and having the sulfonate group with sodium ion. So sodium para-allyl benzene sulfonates are detergents. So detergents basically are of one aromatic nature and another is non-aromatic nature. So like this we are having a specific example, CH3, CH2, 11, C6H5SO2O minus and Na plus, sodium para N dodecyl benzene sulfonate. It's an example for detergents. So my point of discussion is RCOONA is a soap, RSO3 or SO4Na is a detergent in general. Very easy to remember, right? So in case of soap, let me concentrate on the term soap. R is equal to, it may be C13H50, H35. C15H31, C17H35. That means the hydrocarbon part may be open chain, saturated or unsaturated. So that is an important point one has to note, and I will give in detail regarding examples pertaining to soaps and later on detergents. Now let us see an example of soap. So general formula for soap already I have given, RCOO, that is sodium salt of long chain fatty acids, where R may be saturated or unsaturated. Now I have given an example, palmitic acid. Okay, so palmitic acid is having the structure 1, just you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there are 16 carbon atoms in a chain ending with COOH. It is a palmitate, sodium palmitic acid. When it is attached with Na or K ion, so it is considered as sodium palmitate, that is a soap. So at the bottom, the long chain hydrocarbon with the COOH is a palmitic acid, that is C31, and so CH3, CH2, 14COH. So this CH3, CH2, 14COH, the COH group, if it is replaced by ONE, then sodium palmitate. So which already I have given at the above example for sodium palmitate as an example for soap. Now similarly, when you move another example for the same soap, RCOO minus Ne, oleic acid. The formula for oleic acid is CH3, CH2 7 times, CH double bond CH, CH2 7 times, and COOH. Now here in the hydrocarbon part, it is not necessary to have all the saturated hydrocarbon. There may be unsaturated hydrocarbon. So this unsaturated, you can point out here, CH3, CH2, 7, CH double bond CH, CH double bond CH, again it continued with CH2 7 times COH. That means unsaturated system, that is oleic acid is having unsaturated long chain hydrocarbon. Now if the end of the COH group is replaced by ONE, at the bottom I am given an example of sodium oleate, that is soap, CH3, CH2 6 times, CH2, CH double bond CH, CH2, CH2 5, CH2 COONE, that is the sodium salt of oleate. It is a soap. Similarly, you can see the another example, sodium stearate. So sodium stearate, CH3, CH2 15 times, CH2 COONE. So it is again a saturated hydrocarbon part, long chain having COO minus ending. So the various atoms can be shown in the next chain form, that is a carbon with a little bit greenish color, oxygen with red color COH, hydrogen with a little bit black color, and sodium ion which is at the end can be shown. So these are the few examples pertaining to your soaps. In general, dear students, remember RCOONE is a general formula for all soaps, and where R is hydrocarbon, long chain hydrocarbon, it may be saturated or it may be unsaturated. Example I have given, sodium oleate is unsaturated, sodium palmitate, sodium stearate, both are saturated. Now with this, I want to go for the another aspect, that is saponification. What is the exactly meaning of saponification and how the saponification gives the soap? So let us see this particular reaction, saponification I have given. CH3OCO, CH2 14 times CH3, and that CH2 is again further connected with another CHO, CO, CH2 14 times CH3. and the third carbon is having a CH2 group, CH2O, OCO, CH2, 14 times CH3. So this is a triglyceride ester molecule. So in generally, without that functional group, you can write CH2OCOR dash, CHOCOR double dash, CH2OCOR triple dash. So R dash, R double dash, R triple dash, all the three are the long chain hydrocarbon functional groups. Okay, so this is what about a triglyceride ester molecule. So these triglyceride ester molecules are generally present in lipids. So what are lipids? Just I have quoted in earlier statement that lipids are nothing but oils and fats and waxes. So they are having a triglyceride ester molecule as shown in this. Now when this triglyceride ester is allowed to treat with sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide, then the molecule of triglyceride ester broken and it will be get converted into CH2OH, CHOH, CH2OH. It is a glycerol, one of the most important byproduct in this reaction. And you can see three molecules of, that is CH3, CH2 14 times, COONE, that is sodium palmitate. For example, I have taken with glyceryl tripalmitate as a starting material, which on alkaline hydrolysis will give sodium palmitate. So this is a specific example I have given, but for general method of preparation, the triglyceride ester is subjected for saponification in presence of either NaOH or KOH. That will generally gives a triglyceride ester into a glycerol plus the sodium salt of long chain fatty acid, which is nothing but your soap. So this is a most important and a significant way of manufacturing the soap, and saponification is one of the important factor involved. So I will going to discuss the general method of manufacture of soap later on in the next episode. Well, now already I have told you the soaps are just like a micelle molecules. A soap molecule has two ends or two parts. A long chain hydrocarbon part, that is called as hydrophobic part, and it dissolves in hydrocarbon. And the second part is the short ionic part containing COO minus Na plus, which is hydrophilic part, and it dissolves only in water. So you see the structure of micelle, where the hydrocarbon part is generally connected with the dust particle or the oil particles which are present on cloth. So when the soap is rubbed, what happens? The hydrocarbon part is connected to the dust particle, and the water soluble part is COONA is soluble. So when you rub it, the dust particle along with the hydrocarbon will come out and it will move. So that is the mechanism by considering this micelles molecules structure of soap. So you remember there are two components present in soap. One is hydrophobic part, another is hydrophilic part. Hydrophilic part is water soluble, which is having COO minus Na, and long chain hydrocarbon part is called as hydrophobic part, which is water insoluble, but it is having affinity towards the dust particles or the other particles present on the cloth or skin. Now, what I have discussed, the same thing will be explained in terms of mechanism of soap. So dear students, sometime in the examination, you may expect a 5 marks question. Simple method, that is explain the mechanism of action of soap. So for this, what you have to refer is, in the earlier slide I have shown the soap is consisting of two components. One is a hydrophobic and another is a hydrophilic. So among that, hydrocarbon part is water insoluble and it is having affinity towards the dust particle. And the rest part, COO minus, is a water soluble component. So when a dirt is present on a cloth is put in water containing soap, then the hydrocarbon end of the soap molecule in the micelle attached to the oil or the grease particles present on the surface of dirt cloth. In this way, the soap micelles interpass the oily particles by using the hydrocarbon end. The ionic end of the soap molecule remain unattached to the water. When the dirty cloth is agitated in soap solution, the oily particles present on the surface gets discharged in water, due to which the cloth get clean. So this is a simple cleaning action. So for this you have to write a general example I have shown in this diagram and show that there are some hydrocarbon part which are having affinity towards the dust or oily particle, and the carboxyl part is water soluble. So when the soap is allowed to come in contact with the wet particles of oil or some particles on cloth, and just you soak it or just you rub it. So after rubbing, the process takes place where the hydrocarbon part will take only hydrocarbon part take only the dust material, leaving the cloth free from its impurity. So this is the mechanism of soap. Soaps have lot of advantage. Generally, the soaps are considered to be eco-friendly and biodegradable. Remember, this is very important. Soaps are having a lot of advantages to mankind. Particularly, they are eco-friendly and biodegradable. Biodegradable means the molecules are very easily broken when they are allowed to come in contact with water, or when they may be thrown on the earth surface. But there are some material like detergents, when they are thrown on the surface of the earth, most of the detergents are non-biodegradable. So that is somewhere detergents, though they are compared to soaps good, but having a little bit disadvantages. Okay, now there are some disadvantages of soaps. Soaps are not soluble in hard water. You may ask question, why soaps are not soluble in hard water? So already I have shown RCOO minus Na. Okay, hard water contains calcium and magnesium. When you take the soap and rub with hard water, so the cleaning action is not possible with reference to hard water, because the reason is the Na ion of the RCO is replaced by calcium or magnesium present in hard water. So the ionization is not possible. Therefore, the soaps are not useful in particularly hard water. They have weak cleaning property than the detergents. So this part we will discuss in the next slides. Now let us come to main discussion, detergents. So already I have given some information regarding what are detergents. ROSO2O minus Na, that is sodium alkyl sulfonates or sodium para-alkyl benzene sulfonates are detergents. So they are having specific structure ROSO2O minus Na plus, or we can have R benzene ring SO2O Na. So there is a little bit jump of a benzene ring outside the structures. Please consider it. Okay. So detergents are the sodium salt of long chain benzene sulfonic acids, and detergents are primarily surfactants which could be produced easily from petroleum byproducts. Surfactants lower the surface tension of water, essentially making it wetter so that it is less likely to stick to itself and most likely get removed. The ionic group is in detergent is SO3 minus Na plus. Now I have given a specific example. Sodium para-dodecyl benzene sulfonate. So C12H25 at the para position of the benzene ring with reference to SO3 minus Na plus. That is the sodium para-dodecyl. Dodecyl means 12 carbon atom benzene sulfonate. And similarly, another example, sodium lauryl sulfonate, that is C25H12O SO2O minus Na. So sometimes the same structure may be represented, don't get confused, C12H25 SO3O minus Na plus. Don't get confused why these structures are like that. So whenever the structures are to be written, you have to remember there must be SO4 ions. So SO2 and O is attached to the hydrocarbon part, and another O is having negative charge with Na plus, right? So these are two examples pertaining to detergents. Now let me make you much more clear regarding the structures of both soap and detergent. Sodium stearate, just you look at the above, CH3, CH2, 15, CH2, COONA. This is a sodium stearate, stearic acid stearate. Now see there at the bottom, it is sodium dodecyl sulfonate. So it is CH3, CH2, 24 times, O, SO2, O minus and Na plus. You see at the end there is a structural difference. In case of soap, we are having COO minus Na plus, and in case of detergent, SO3 O minus Na plus. So that is the difference between soaps and detergent. One can very easily recognize their structures. Okay, so this is about structural difference between soaps and detergents. Now keeping this in mind, cleaning action of soap. So already I have explained how the cleaning action of a soap as well as detergent is done. So the hydrocarbon part is having affinity towards the soil or oil present on the cloth, and when such wet material containing the dust particle on the cloth is dipped in water, so ultimately there is affection and love between the oil part and hydrocarbon part, and the rest part is sulfonate for detergents, and CO minus carboxylate anion part with respect to soap. So when you rub it or just boil in hot water, so what happens? The interaction takes place, and whatever the dust particles are, they will get slowly removed from the cloth and make it free. So it is the same cleaning action as shown in case of soaps in earlier process. Advantages of detergents. Since detergents are the salts of strong acids, they do not decompose in acidic medium. Thus, detergent can effectively clean fabric even if water is acidic in nature. That is the first advantage. Second one is synthetic detergents are more soluble in water than the soaps. Third one, they have strong cleaning action than the soap. Already I have explained it. As detergents are derived from the petroleum, they serve on natural vegetable. They save on natural vegetable oils, which are important essential cooking medium. Disadvantage of detergents. So many detergents are resistant to the action of biological agents and thus are not biodegradable. So already I just mentioned in the previous slide, the detergents are non-biodegradable, means they cannot be broken when they are thrown on the surface of earth, or they cannot be broken even when it is present in water. So that may cause environmental pollution. Therefore, they may be good for many reasons, but at the same time, due to this non-biodegradable property, they are having certain disadvantage. Their elimination from municipal wastewater by the usual treatment is a problem. They have a tendency to produce stable foam in river that extend over several hundred meters of the river water. This is due to the effect of surfactant used in their preparation. Thus, they pose a danger to aquatic life. They tend to inhibit oxidation of organic substances present in waste water because they form a sort of envelope around them. So these are the certain disadvantages of detergents. Then difference between soaps and detergents. So one can very easily give the difference. Sometime in examination you may expect 5 marks question, or sometime 2 marks question also. Write 5 difference between or 3 difference between soaps and detergents. So you know soaps are having a general formula RCOONE, and detergents are having the formula R long chain hydrocarbon SO3ONE. Soaps are metal salts of long chain higher fatty acids only, and detergents are the sodium salt of long chain hydrocarbon alkyl sulfonate or alkyl benzene sulfonates. The second difference is these are prepared from vegetable oil and animal fats. These are prepared from hydrocarbon from petroleum or coal. Third one is they cannot be used effectively in hard water as they produce scum, that is the insoluble properties, precipitates of calcium plus 2, magnesium plus 2, Fe plus 3. So here I want to mention, in hard water you will find calcium, magnesium, iron, common ions. But when the soap is treated with these ions present in hard water, so there is a replacement reaction of sodium by calcium or magnesium. Therefore, the cleaning action is not done properly. Therefore, that is why these soaps are not used in respect to the hard water. Only they are used in soluble case of soft water. Then regarding detergent, these do not produce insoluble precipitate in hard water. They are effective in soft, hard or salt water. So in any kind of water they are more useful. So this is how the difference will appear. So at this stage I would like to stop, and we will continue the same topic with the manufacture of soaps by modern process and classification of detergents, emulsifiers, etc. in the next episode. So thank you. So please all of you give your comment box with your roll number and your name to me.